Myself is very happy that Manmada Sari, Dr. Madhavachari is located at IFHE, and he has invited us to deliver the lectures on 3D printing, and also a demo session is scheduled day after tomorrow. Okay. So it is a online lecture, as you know, which is actually saving a lot of time and energy and all. But in offline lectures, we used to carry lot many prototypes which are built at our center to showcase to the students and participants physically. But however, I tried my level best to show some of the products developed at our center, and that's why I have added that is some case studies. So that is the reason that some case studies also added, because of the not able to bring or show the physical products or prototypes that are built at our center. So once again, I thank you for the organizers for giving me opportunity to share my experience and the knowledge in the area of additive manufacturing. So my lecture goes like this. Maybe in the first day, you must have come across all these things, but the definition and all must have given. But I will quickly go through, and I will concentrate only on the prototyping, some of the technologies, and some of the technology available at our center, and what we have done physically, pictorially, we show to the participants. So these are the agenda scheme. The what is the definition of additive manufacturing or rapid prototyping, and need for AM, inputs for AM, methodology of AM, steps in AM and AM processes, and some applications and case studies of AM. I think you have come across these definitions given by earlier speakers, but what I found is the first definition would be the most appropriate definition given by Terry Wohlers, and that is a technology that produces models and prototype parts from 3D CAD model data, CT and MRI scan data, and model data created from 3D object digitizing systems. So the whole 3D printing is lying here. Definition. What is that? What are the inputs of 3D printing machines? What are the inputs? First input is the 3D CAD data. That means the participants are the students who are working in the area of 3D manufacturing, 3D printing or digital manufacturing, are expected to have some knowledge with the geometric modeling, that is CAD modeling. So otherwise, you need to depend on others. So first and basic important thing is you must understand the 3D CAD modeling, how your concept and idea can be interpreted or introduced into the CAD model. Then we go for what you call prototyping or 3D printing. Next type of data is CT and MRI data. CT and MRI data. So CT MRI data will be given by the Who will give city MRI data? Hello?
Yeah, the doctors are.
Yeah. So sometimes I expect the questions from the participants.
Actually, we are not giving the option.
Okay. You don't have permission. Anyway, at the end we will.
Yeah, we will come.
You have you plus all of you please write your queries on a piece of paper, and then you can ask at the end. The CT scan MRI data are given by the doctors. And again, there is a 3D object digitizing systems, that is re-engineering or reverse engineering. So for 3D CAD models, 3D printing machines, we can give three types of data. One is CAD data, which is created by any one of the CAD softwares, CT and MRI scan data, which is given by the doctors, and reverse engineering data, that is existing 3D or existing part can be converted into the 3D CAD model that can be given. So second is not that specific, is only mechanical, that is engineering application, that is without any jigs pictures. No, we can go for printing. That is called given by the Joe Beeman. Okay. So in a one sentence, we can say the rapid prototyping or 3D printing or digital manufacturing, nothing but it is conceptualization to realization. So conceptualization to realization. So whatever the concept you have in your mind is, we are realizing in the form of physical object. So that is the 3D printing. Why we have to go for 3D printing or additive manufacturing? So quality, productivity, reduced cost, and reduced costly errors, and the customer satisfaction, global competition, and the time to market, and all these are useful in product development. So nowadays, almost all industries are following the prototyping methods. So whatever they want to publish or want to market, first they are doing in 3D printing, and the design verification is done, and then only they are going. Otherwise, what happens? Earlier, without any review, they used to go for die design. Okay, the die is sometimes costing some 2 to 3 lakhs to 40-50 lakhs. So if something goes wrong, the die goes waste. So that's why we are reducing the costly errors. Similarly, ultimately, the customer wants quality. He wants quality at the same time at affordable cost. So all this can be addressed through this technology 3D printing. So 3D printing, so we can build and show to the customer sometimes, or otherwise we can review within the peer group, and then only we can go for marketing. So the product development has become very simple now and very fast when compared to the earlier days because of the 3D printing. So just I will quickly go through worldwide all the RP missions or the 3D printing missions or AM missions accepts the file name called STL. So STL is borrowed from the word stereo, first two letters, and lithography is the first letter. So all the file extensions of files, any file for JPG, JPEG, all this will have only 3 letters. So likewise here also .stl is the file extension will be given to the as input to the RP systems. So the CAD software which are supporting STL files only will be using. Otherwise, we have to again import and convert into STL file, and then. So the form, what does it mean? STL means it is a format. And what is happening in the system? So it is converting the 3D solid model into triangular plane areas. So why triangular plane areas? The lowest area is the triangle. To minimize the errors, it is converted into triangle. Now, these are some of the STL editing softwares. Magix, Mimics are the familiar softwares from the company called Materialize. And similarly, Viewport, Visual AM, SolidView, Rhino, these are all third-party softwares which are compatible to different 3D printing machines. So which one is compatible, you need to verify, or if you are buying a 3D printer, then they will verify, um, they will customize and give it to you. So just 2 minutes we will spend on that, the re-engineering or reverse engineering. Generally, we don't say that a reverse engineering. Generally, better to say re-engineering. That means another data is last type of data. First is the CAD data model we give as input to the 3D printers. Second type of data is the doctor's given data, that is CT scan, MRI data. And third type of data is re-engineering. So in the re-engineering, nowadays 3D scanners are available. 3D scanners. So they scan the object of existing one, and it will convert into the 3D. And so you can see this is an object actually. Recently, we have got this order, and the customer wants to convert this into the CAD model. Okay. Actually, this is a very shiny surface is there. So it is like a mirror-like surface, and it is reflecting. So in the 3D scanning of components, no, reflecting surfaces are not possible to convert into scale. So there is a method. So we have coated with chalk piece. Okay, there is a liquid based chalk will available, and on that we have coated with chalk and then converted to the CAD. Then whatever the modifications you want to do, that you can do. Okay, so once it is preserved, so you can do the modifications according to the requirements. So this another component, 3D scan, and then this is STL file. So there are some re-engineering softwares also available. Then these are the again third-party softwares which is compatible to 3D scanners. Okay. So now coming to the methodology of AM, additive manufacturing. So any 3D printing process, which are almost 40 plus 3D printing processes are available. So out of 40 plus, only 7 categories are now existing. Okay. So that 40 plus are, some of them are obsolete. Okay. As per the textbook, you can see Chuva book or some other book, no, you can find in olden days, no, 40, 45 plus RP systems are there. So irrespective of this 40 or 50, whatever the RP systems or processes are there, so they have to follow this methodology. So that is, a CAD model is constructed and then converted to STL file. Just now we discussed. Okay. The resolutions can be set to minimize the stair stepping. Okay. So this is an experience. So in your CAD model, there is an option called card height and angle control. For example, in Creo, in olden days, Creo was called as a Pro Engineer. So in Creo, there is a card height and angle control. So if you keep minimum card height and minimum angle control, then you will get a fine 3D solid model. Okay. So that is the meaning of saying no, use maximum resolutions of the software. So because your system, your 3D printing system is capable of handling more resolution, but your model is having coarse one or less resolution, the resultant is only less results. Okay. So the finally output is only whichever is having lowest resolution or accuracy, that part is out. So that means you are not using the benefit of having maximum resolution. So that's why you must understand what is the resolution of the software and what is the resolution of the 3D printer. So then you have to, then afterwards, the AM machines processes STL file by creating a slice layer of the metal. Okay. So how the breads initially in bakery shop, they will bake the a bread cube. Okay. So after that, they will cut into pieces. Okay, for 15 pieces or 20 pieces, whatever it is, depending upon the size of the cube, or and also size of the layer or each piece, how much thickness it should be. So how the bread is being cut into so many pieces. Similarly, the software slices the 3D model into so many slices. Okay, and the each slice has got its name and the what you call the address. Okay, the information is stored in the computer, and depending upon the time, depending upon the what you call the resolution of the 3D printer, we make the slices, whether it is 0.1 mm or 2 mm or 3 mm or 4 mm. And also, suppose if you are doing research, so you can also go for variable slices. Okay. So then in the process, the slicing software does not depending upon the complexity of the 3D printer, 3D object. So whatever the complexity is there, it simply it cuts like a knife, taking a knife and how you are cutting, no, like bread or any vegetable or like that, is simply irrespective of the complexity inside is a hollow or solid or whatever it is. So it clears and that information will be stored. And then the third process is step is, and the physical model is created. Okay, once the 3D printing starts, it starts building the first layer. And after building first layer, the bin will fall down by one layer thickness and starts building second layer. So like this, we can continue the building of first layer to the nth layer. This is a layer by layer process. That is why 3D printing is one of the technologies of additive manufacturing. So in the mechanical engineering now worldwide, rapid prototyping is a word is removed, and now only additive manufacturing is a big area. Under that, we have a lot of 3D printing processes are there. So 3D printing is also one of the processes in the additive manufacturing. So this is also called layered manufacturing, because we are constructing layer by layer. It is also called layered manufacturing, digital manufacturing, 3D printing. So interchangeably nowadays they are using, but the 3D printing has become a buzzword. It's a popular word across the world, even in AICT also. So there is a 3D printing and design. So there is a thrust area or theme created in AICT, and they're giving a lot of funds to the institutions to conduct the FDPs on 3D printing and design. And even Honorable Prime Minister of India also addressed in the Parliament the uttering the technology like 3D printing is a part of Make in India, Made in India. Okay, so that's why it is gaining a lot of importance. 3D printing is not only in the mechanical engineering; it is penetrated into biomedical, aerospace, automobile, computer. So many applications. Okay, it's in the mechanical. If you coverage, a lot of applications are there. So this anyway, after printing, no, we can simply the last step is whether the supports are there or not. If the supports are there, how to remove, and what are the methods of removing the surface, and also the what are the tools are used to remove the surfaces. Sometimes depending on the technology, some technology does not require any support materials like what we have. The SLS system does not require any support system, and simply we can clean with the help of a compressed air. Okay. So, for example, this FDM and all other systems, no, even metal-based RP systems or the AM systems requires removal of surfaces. Even wire cut TDM, we have to go for wire cut TDM to remove the parts from the plate in SLM and the DLMS. So, coming to the classification, are you able to see this name, Chari?
Yes, sir. It is difficult to find. A very small font is there.
Above
sir.
there is a no, not this anyway. I will
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
their title.
Yeah, title is okay, sir. Additive manufacturing
Why
technologies.
because all are at one place.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
it is given by 3D hubs.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, capital letters are there that we can see.
Yes.
But if we make different slides, it will not looks like
Yes, sir.
a continuation.
Yes.
So at once we could see the 7 types of AM technologies. First one is VAT photopolymerization. Okay. Second one is material extrusion. Third one is material jetting. And the fourth one is binder jetting. Fifth one is powder bed fusion. And sixth one is direct energy deposition. Last one is sheet lamination. So all the available 3D printing systems are classified into broadly into the 7 categories. Okay. So under that we have sub-classification. So this is given by 3D Hubs recently. Okay. So all popular 3D printing companies and 3D printing machines are fall into the 7 categories. So for example, VAT photopolymerization. In that we have SLA. You know, SLA means selective laser stereolithography apparatus, and DLP, direct digital light processing, and continuous digital light processing. So these 3 technologies are under this classification. So material extrusion is FDM. Material jetting is material jetting, nanoparticle jetting, drop on demand. Okay. So we are not bothered about the companies that producing it. It is further, it is a small one. Text is very small. Binder jetting. Binder jetting is BJ. Okay, that is a short form. And this is a popular one, powder bed fusion. Powder bed fusion is we have metal and also the plastic based machines. So here under metal powder bed fusion, we have multi-jet fusion, selective laser sintering, direct metal laser sintering, that is DMLS, and SLM, that is selective laser melting, and electron beam melting. So there are so many technologies are there under powder bed fusion. So direct energy deposition. So that is lens and EBM, electron beam additive manufacturing. Lens means laser engineering net shape. So lastly, sheet metal lamination, that is laminated object modeling. So this all you must have heard the classifications in the first day session. Whether it is covered or not, I don't know, Dr. Chari.
Sir, fully not covered, sir. A few just outer view is over.
Yeah. Okay, I can touch the SLS and SLM now. No?
Yes, sir. You can.
Okay. So these are the again out of the 7 popular technologies we have given here some of the things, and these are the working principle of the stereolithography, that is SLA. A means operators, So I think this is already, I think, covered. And this is a fused deposition model. This is a popular one, and also because of the expiry of the patents, everyone is even manufacturing this 3D printer, fused deposition modeling, which is a wire based filament, no, which is passed over the filament nozzle. Because of the nozzle uh, heat supply to the nozzle, the filament will be melted and poured in the form of 3D form. And laminated object modeling, so which is a sheet based, and the sheet is normally, it is a craft sheet, and having one side is glue, other side is without glue, and like a Tixo tape. So tape, if you see Tixo tape, once glue will be there only one side, other side will be simply without any glue is there. But that is sticky, but this is not sticky. So only thing is it is coated, the glue is coated onto the paper, and whenever that paper comes and places in the build area, because of the laser power, that coated glue will be activated. So activated means it simply loses, it will become almost liquid like. So then because of that, no, the second layer will fall onto that and it forms the layers like this. So mostly it is used in civil engineering applications, and it is a disadvantage is that no, the fixed craft thickness, then certain intricate details are not available to produce. So actually, 3D printing, the name has come from this. This is a three-dimensional printing. 3D printing means nothing but three-dimensional printing. So this is one of the technologies, but it is actually weakest technology because it is powder based. So the plastic powder is spread over here, and there is no laser power, nothing else. Here only simply liquid adhesive supply will come from this container and sprinkle over the powder. So wherever the sprinkles, the adhesive sprinkles, that part will be bonding particles together. So the pouring of this adhesive liquid is again as per the 2D CAD contour. So once the layer is formed, this piston fall down by one layer thickness. Again, fresh coat of powder will be spread over here. Again, it's all automatic. So liquid adhesive will pass through and sprinkle over here. Like how we are using a container with holes to pour water to the plants. So like that, this is a drops of liquid falls onto the chamber as per the CAD contour. Okay, so this is actually 3D printing. So that's why 3D printing is one of the processes of putty in, and that name has come to additive manufacturing or the 3D printing as a buzzword because of this process. Selective laser sintering, SLS. So under selective laser sintering, we have again metal-based machines and plastic-based machines. So here, this is a plastic-based machine, which is a polyamide powder. The polyamide powder is used for printing of prototypes. So these are the two bins which are filled with plastic powder. It handles two types of plastic powder, that is polyamide glass filled, polyamide plain 2200 and 3200. Commercial name is polyamide. PA 2200 is the plain polyamide. PA 3200 is the GF is glass filled. So if you want to have more strength, we need to go for different type of powder. So it utilizes the CO2 laser, carbon dioxide laser. And if it is a plastic one, the laser power is less. If it is a metal one, laser power is more to center the metallic powders. So here in this case, this is having 30 watts power is there to sinter polyamide. So this is a schematic diagram of medical data, how it is processing. CT scan will be given by doctors, and we use Mimics software. Is a for biomedical applications, we use Mimics software, which is developed by the company called Materialize. So after converting medical data, like lakhs of clouds will be there, cloud points are there that will be converted into 3D CAD via Mimics, and then again STL file. And Magix is another software where we use Magix for annotation, putting text, scale down, scale up, positioning, orientation, and engraving, etc., etc. Okay, so this will not be used for modeling. This is only for editing. And then in this particular machine, EOS, it will be used a third-party software to slice the component, and then it will process. So in the SLS process, there are the pyrometers, which will heat the powder from room temperature to sintering temperature. It will take about 1.5 hours to 2 hours for warming up. So whereas SLM directly sinters without any warm up phase, SLM will be directly sinters the powder, melts the powder. Okay, but here in the plastic machine SLS, it takes almost 1.5 hours, 2 hours to print the system, because the room will be at the powder will be at a room temperature, and that it has to bring it to the sintering temperature. Sintering temperature is about 169 to 173 degrees centigrade. So after that, building starts. Okay, so this is a loose powder. This is the powder which has been sintered. So you can see the texture. The loose powder is white, and this is like a gray or something like that. Okay, so this can be viewed, and then the scanning also takes place. Sometimes, one time it will build XX direction, other time YY direction. Okay, XX, YY, so that the bonding of two layers will be perfect. So after building, we need to allow the bin for cooling purpose. So almost building time equal to cooling time. So it is very hot condition. So that's why we need to wait for almost 3 hours. Building means 3 hours you have to wait. Okay. Then just we have to put a finger just to verify whether they're tolerable or not. So then only we have to remove the cake from this and then clean. Otherwise, what happens if you open it at hard condition, the warpage and shrinking warpage will take place because of the temperature difference. Okay. So after that, we simply brush it off and clean, and then this prototype. Okay. So there's sandblast where we can use compressed air to clean the surface of the prototype. Okay. So these are some of the advantages. So I'm not going to the details of it. Yes. So the title is, our title is the 3D printing from prototyping to production. Okay. So for example, if you want to have the functionality directly from the 3D printer, so only thing is we need to verify where you are operating. So the operating temperature, how much, what are the loads are coming. So sometimes the parts produced from the 3D printers can be directly used as functional prototype. So only thing is we need to check whether mechanical strength and the temperature at which you are operating is equal or sufficient or not. So limitations means again it is a size limitations. How big we can build. For example, this is the portrait. It is built by SLS system. See there you can see there is a small line is there. So this is one part, first part, second part, up to this, there is line, two parts, three parts, and wings also we can put separately. So we can make the part into again sub assemblies, and we can print, and afterwards we can assemble. Okay. So this big, almost 7 feet portrait is built by SLS system with making sections 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Right. So this is a system, the 3D printing system at our the lab or a center. This maximum build size is, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is g-axis, z-axis. Okay, this x-axis is 200, y-axis is 250, g is 330. That is the maximum build size that we can go for. So the effective build volume is 200 by 250 by 330. The laser type is carbon dioxide laser, 30 watts power. So this mission capabilities. Yeah, can produce functional prototypes which are subjected to cyclic loads, impact loads, and fatigue. Also, which are to be operated at 100 degrees centigrade. This is okay. So, thing is, we can produce machine parts which can be directly used, but under certain conditions. For example, if you go for metal 3D printers, we can go even very high real time applications. So here, the type of powder we use is polyamide is PA 2200. Polyamide 3200 glass field means it is a GF means glass field, which will have more strength compared to this. This is a brittle. This is ductile. You can say. So these are the some of the same photographs which are taken after sintering of polyamide powder in our machine, and the ball size is 60 microns, and the build temperature is 166.6 cm5. Sometimes what happens now, if you are using old powder, new powder in ratio 50-50 or 70-30, okay, then the build temperature also varies. So coming to SLM facility, selective laser melting facility at our center. Earlier, our center name was CPTIP, that is Center for Prototyping and Testing of Industrial Products, which was established from the funds of MHRD Government of India in 2008. Now, it has been upgraded and scaled up at university level, and Center for Product Design Development and Additive Manufacturing. And with the help of the RUSA, we have created the facility with an amount of rupees 6 crores. Okay, we have these other missions. Okay, anyway, in the demo, we will show it, but again, it is a one sheet SLM we have, which is imported from Germany, Lübeck. And in the old system, we have Formiga P100 SLS. This is also from Germany, Munich. And Object 3D Pro. It is a Stratasys company and the Polyjet. And FabPro, recently, less than a year now, we have added SLM, FabPro, that is SLA, DLP, that is Digital Light Processing. And another system we've added is Ultimaker. Ultimaker is a FDM based system from Netherlands. So 1, 2, 3, one is metal, this is resins and plastic we have added. Apart from this 3D printers, we have procured this scanner, 3D scanner. So that is for reverse engineering purposes, we have procured this almost 33 lakhs for this mission. And whereas this SLM is almost 4 crores. And then this is around 6 lakhs, the Fab Pro. And then the Ultimaker is around 12.5 lakhs. And one MTech student, Shiva OU, that is Shiva, he is Mr. Shiva, he built FDM, and we have produced a lot of components from this 3D printed, built by 3D printing machine built by the MTech students as a part of his project. So you can see this is the SLM machine at our university. Anyway, we will show the details maybe day after tomorrow, after opening and all everything. And this is another another view. This is actually chiller, the chiller. These are filters, and this is a powder saving machine, and this is a vacuum cleaner. And the build size of this SLM machine is 280, 280, 365 mm. And we have single laser of 400 watts. And the variable thickness is 20 microns to 90 microns. And minimum feature size is 150 microns. And the beam focus diameter is 80 microns to 115 micron. Maximum scan speed is 10 meters per second. Okay. So these are the 6 type of materials that it can handle. So aluminum alloys, stainless steel alloys, nickel alloys, titanium alloys, cobalt alloys, copper alloys. So these are the powders which are available at our center, and we have already used aluminum alloy for one of our PhD student, and stainless steel and titanium. 3 metals already used and built some of the components that also I will show you. So coming to the applications of 3D printing and aerospace applications, automotive, functional prototypes, defense, military, tooling, and medical. So why the prototyping to production title is given? Because prototyping is something one step less than the production. But with the help of machines like 3D printing machines, like metal and all, there is no prototype. Directly we can produce parts which are functional. Okay, particularly tools, dies, and then the biomedical implants. Directly we can use them without making any further products. Whereas in the case of plastics, we use them as patterns for making molds, and then we go for casting and etc. And similarly, in the metal also, we make some of the molds, some of the patterns with the help of SS, stainless steel and all, and then we can use it for producing casting of many products. So this is a sintering is taking place, metal sintering in metal 3D printing, and these are the some of the components we built. So these are the 2 components built with titanium, and recently just 1 week back we have built samples for one PhD student. Now this is what you call aluminum alloy. Okay, so in index of the 9 specimens we built it, and we have cleaned it, and it is appearing like this. So to remove, this is a bin plate. This to remove, we need to go for wire cut. Sometimes no, depending upon the material. For example, the aluminum, no, we can easily remove. But whereas in the case of titanium, we have to go for wire cut EDM. So then this is produced for testing of strength and porosity, density, etc., for research purposes. So this is our SLM machine at our center. So coming to SLS, shrinkage allowance are very important to give to compensate. Okay, it is not like printing just like that, no, toy or something like that. We need to build 3D printing parts, printed parts, no, very accurate and should be compatible with the other mating surfaces. Otherwise, no use. Okay, if you are not maintaining fits and tolerances and accuracy, it is simply a visual purpose, nothing else. So that's why we need to give a lot of attention to build quality prototypes. Okay, so one of the things is the shrinkage elements, how to compensate, and after testing all these components, particularly this component, and we know what is actually what are the dimensions in the CAD. So from X to X1, X0 to XL, X equal to L, what are the different types of components? So the same dimensions are going to get or not, we have to see. And apart from the dimensions, functionality. So surface test and the mechanic test and the flexibility, etc. can be said. So after conducting all this, we arrive to give x equal to 3.2, y equal to 3.2, g equal to 1.8. These are the shrinkage allowances. So this is in the machine itself, we need to give so that the while building the part, it will take care. So x means x direction, y direction. In the length, we, for example, 30, 100 is there, 100 mm is there. Since of 100 mm, we need to go 103.2 mm. In y direction 100 mm, we need to go 103.2 mm. In z direction, 100 mm means 101.8. That is the meaning of shrink allowance. Okay, so these are the tests conducted by the students and all. Now, applications and case studies. So these are very, very important actually. Many case studies are reported here and applications also reported here. So for CAD databases, verifying styles and ergonomic and patterns for metal casting, prototype tooling, marketing models, etc., etc., defense applications, electronic applications, and biomedical applications, all mentioned here. Aerospace. So widely, the additive manufacturing or 3D printing is used in widely the aerospace industries because lightweight, high strength. Okay, because there are metals which are very difficult to manufacture, like titanium and all, very difficult to machine. So those can be built directly from the 3D printing machines. Okay, these are some of the components of impellers, vanes, and all built in the whether plastic. This is except this all are plastic, and this is the metal. Coming to the electronics, all the gadgets, electronic gadgets, outer covers are made by 3D printing only. Firstly, not for mass production. Initially, they were built with 3D printers, and once it is okay, then they go for mass production. In the mass production, they use injection molding. Okay. For example, this case cover is there. Okay, once it is okay and it is verified and validated, then same model can be used to produce molds in the injection. Okay, so the plastic, for all plastic, no, for mass production they go for injection molding machines. This is for validation purpose. They use it as a prototype. And this horn antenna built at our center to one of the electronic engineering student to test it, how the waves are propagating. And coming to the biomedical applications, numerous applications are there. Okay. Even for plastic and then metal. Okay. So plastic is for only verification purpose, and also they are using as a master to produce patterns. Or using this, they produce replica of the same with the help of ceramics. Okay. So here we built a lot of components at our center. This is actually knee braces, knee braces, knee caps. for sports safety devices. These are the sports safety devices, and which are used by the sports persons. So once these are validated, then they go for printing of the same with metals to have more strength. So you can see knee joint, support hip joint, teeth, any part of the bone, maybe due to the cancer or due to the accident lost, they can print. And also the 3D printing is used for surgery, pre-planning of surgery. Okay. So the pre-planning, doctors uses the 3D printing for surgical pre-planning. Okay. Before going for actual surgery, they use it for trial basis. Trial basis they use. And these are all made with the titanium, and directly we can implant because titanium is biocompatible material. Similarly, why it is popular in biomedical applications is that mass production is not possible here, not necessary. Okay, each teeth is different and unique shape. Each person, each human being is having different knee joints, different anything, any part of human being never be same with the other human being. So it is, we have to build for a particular person only. So then the 3D printing is playing vital role. And the only thing is the doctor gives us the CT scan MRI data, we build and give it to him. See, nowadays, no, dentist. So in Hyderabad also, 2-3 companies are there. They have, they are building the dents for the patients. Okay. So simply, a doctor takes the measurement and he will convert into CAD, and he will send us, suppose if we are having machine, you can send the through mail, and then we will load it, and then again we build it, and again back to the patient it will build. But patient doesn't know where it has been built, but the doctor will say that no, come after 1 week. So he will give the CAD file, and so now the next level of manufacturing is even digital manufacturing or web-based manufacturing. In web-based manufacturing, we can enable our machines from anywhere, remote place. And for example, ICFI wants to use facility at our place, no, they will enable. We give a link to enable our machine, and they will load the parts from ICFI, and then here our people will build, and even on their own also they can build if it is filled with powder and everything is ready, and we can ship it to anywhere. So similarly, lot many things are happening with the 3D printing, and the students are engaged in this area, and some of the students have become entrepreneurs. Um, in this area, and started startups. One of our 2 students from MTech, they have started startups in the area of 3D printing. Now, another application in the same biomedical is pelvic joint. So one patient from Warangal, the Guardian Hospital, is suffering from pain in the hip. So the doctor detected that no, the bone is infected with tuberculosis. So the doctor approached us, and no, we built and gave it. So a lot of bone is eroded because of this. So this is a dental scaffold. Okay, we built it for a doctor from Bangalore, scaffold for the dental applications, and this shin guard and mouth guard. So for boxing nation, boxers. So boxer players, so they use it and they keep it in the below the two teeth, so that while boxing takes place, no, their teeth and shin will not be damaged. Anyway, this is another application recently, just on Rakhi Purnami. Before Rakhi Purnami, 10 days before Rakhi Purnami, one company has given us to build these prosthetic hands to a boy, this boy. Okay. And there is a Cadbury celebrations are there. Okay. Cadbury celebrations. This is actually video released by the Cadbury. Cadbury celebrations. The company called Cadbury has released this video. So what is that they are doing is, this boy lost two eyes, hands. Okay. He got a sister. So there is a company called Social Hardware. Their purpose is to put hands to this boy on the day of Rakhi. His sister will tie up Rakhi to him. So that was an idea. So that they have advertised and it funded. So here, this is actually two hands and prosthetic hands and all we built at our SLS mission. Okay. So after that, they have colored and inserted it to the boy. And it is also advertised. And you can see, go to YouTube and just search for Cadbury celebrations. And there is 2-3 seconds now, they have shown our lab also. This is our lab where our people are removing the parts from the bin and cleaning. So this visuals also appeared. Here something is written, that is everything, even the threads of Rakhi. Okay. So what they have done is, we have built these hands, and they ordered electronic circuitry with the sensor system and all, so that if his sister ties Rakhi to his this hand, so by applying pressure, no, that pressure is converted into signal and reaches to this boy, wherever his real hand is there. From real hand to the virtual hand, there is the electronic circuit is inserted into that, and that, because of the pressure, now converts into signals. So why I'm explaining all these things is, building a prototype is not important. So accuracy is also very, very important. So because it is assembled with so many other parts, so we need to develop prototypes and which are compatible, accurate, to meet other assembly requirements. So this boy felt by tying the Rakhi, he could sense the pressure of tying Rakhi. So that was the feeling on the day of Raksha Bandhan. So this is actually Social Hardware, the company. They have funded, and maybe because of their company promotion, they have. So we are proud to be associated with that and to build the hands. Now coming to the automotive. So concept is the limitation. Concept is the limitation. You can build anything. So all these group parts, dashboards, etc. So whatever the concept you have, you can first build with the prototype on 3D printing machines. Then afterwards, for mass production, we're going to go for sheet metal or injection. See, door panels, center stacks, etc. Okay. So the applications in the area of automobile. See, castings, automobile castings, right? This is the pattern, the casting. and we can mold, we can make molds with the help of this pattern, and we can cast. So laser sintering of foundry sand. Okay, now some of the machines also available to make molds. So how they are going to make molds? Simply they sinter the sand. So how we make manually by using the patterns. Similarly, they make molds like this molds with the help of sand, and the sand is very difficult to sinter, but the sand will be bonded with certain adhesive. So that is taking place in 3D printing. So once a mold is made, then we can go for castings. So functional prototype pump in direct metal. Okay, that's why direct production is hydraulic components. So if you go for conventional manufacturing, it is difficult to manufacture like this as a single unit. Sorry. So the first and basic important with the 3D printing is it does not require assemblies. Okay, except a few cases. No, these two are without any assembly. It is built. However, the complexity is. And if you go for conventional method of manufacturing, we need to have assemblies, and also time consuming is more. For example, if you need to have a only one or two parts of certain special items, so then we can build with metal, and then we can directly use them as a end product. See, this again one step less. This is a prototype made from one of the plastic machine, and this is a casting. Okay, prototype to production. Okay, this is another component called exhaust manifold. So this exhaust manifold built, this is actually prototype, this is actually casting. So they have saved a lot of time and can be used for around 500 castings. Enough. Again, afterwards, we can go for another prototype. So steering wheel, fuel tank, turbocharger, etc., are the idea generation and build. Okay. And there is another small series production, customizing aircraft interiors. Suppose if you want to buy build it, we need to go for mold and dye, etc., etc. But instead of that, no, just going for laser sintered machines and build this a part which is required for a Boeing flight. Turbine combustion chamber. This is a nickel alloy, and this is only for demonstration purpose. See, fuel injection swirlers. If you cut this particular swirler, it appears like this. Okay, so lot of intricate details are there here. Okay, these are being built as a single go. That is the advantage with the 3D printing. So 2 weeks against 6 weeks in the case of conventional. 6 weeks, it is only 2 weeks. And the cost reduction is almost 50%. And no braces, no joints. And the highly complex shape, swirlers. Okay, these are possible. And these are the companies which are using digital manufacturing or e-manufacturing. Okay, so they all are engaged in their product development. So other applications includes here the jewelry application. You can see in Hyderabad, almost 10 to 15 companies are using liquid-based 3D printing machines for producing jewelry industry. Okay, jewelries. Okay, this first line is one of the ME projects student made this as a pattern, and afterwards she built the jewelry. This is done in our DLP mission, digital light processing mission, that is SLA system. Okay. And apart from that, architectural applications and civil engineering applications. Recently, if you are aware, there is a small bridge built in the Europe. Okay, so we to like a small bridge. It is a first 3D printed bridge and installed in Europe, country, I think Spain or somewhere. I could see in the LinkedIn. Okay. Similarly, we use it for architectural models and stadiums, etc., as a scaled down version. Scaled down version. Once it is okay, we can go for construction of the stadiums based on the feedback received from people. So it has penetrated to consumer goods, interior lighting system, fashion, jewelry, and such applications are interior models, oligo chair, etc., are built from 3D printing machines. See lighting systems. So how complex it is, but looks like a aesthetic, and we can use it as a beautiful chandelier lighting systems like this, and you can see in the market, even you can see in the IKEA. In IKEA, a lot of these systems are available. First, they were produced with only 3D printers. Then afterwards, for mass production, they have gone for different type of manufacturing methods. Lifestyles. So lifestyle, no, this is a heel of a particular shoe. Okay. So rendered heel image from titanium material. See, imagination is the boundary here. Okay. A small dot like this, and it is maybe it is also tested for load, how the load has been distributed. If our wheel comes over here, how the test only. But I think that they have to practice. It's very difficult to walk. Okay, but some time now the women and the girls they habituated to have rendered wheel like this also. Pendants. Okay, pendants. The diamond, not the titanium pendants are there. See the shape of the pendant beyond imagination. Okay. Similarly, shoe sole and hats, etc. Jewelry already we discussed. And we made some cash counting machines for the company in Patancheru. Again, the challenge is here that it is a bigger one than the capacity of our machine. So what we have done is, this is made one part, this is when we have middle one is other part. 1, 2, 3. 3 parts we made, and we simply plugged in. So we made plugs, pressing plugs. So 1, 2, 3, 3 parts we made, and after that, no, it is within the limits of our machine, and then we assembled. And afterwards, the electronic circuit, printing system, everything should come into its display system and all. So that accuracy we need to maintain. That is a challenge. So these are the different parts we built, and the front view of it, rear view. Another thing is again case study. We can say it is electronic swiping machine, or also called handheld computers. Handheld computer. So this handheld computer has got buttons here and display system, a roll, that is a printing roll. So like electronic swiping machines, credit card swiping machines. There are a lot of shapes are there. Less than this shape also there, but we made it to the accuracy levels as the electronic circuit and other parts should go into it with accurately. So this reverse engineering ideal Ganesh is made with reverse engineering, and there is another case study. Or we can say projects we have completed for the Tech Mahindra. That is Pepsi mixing machine. Okay. Again, there is a problem of building this as a single go. So this right side also half is there. It is only I'm showing left side half, right side hemispherical is there. No? Right side also half is there. First left side half we built, afterwards right side half we built. Okay. So then assembled and it is demonstrated in USA for Pepsi company in USA. They are going to build Pepsi mixing machines, which are automatic Pepsi mixing machines. So the GE product, and why only we kept only models, because we have written non-disclosure agreement NDA. That's why we are not supposed to keep their product with us. So this is another woodpecker. The purpose of giving this is to demonstrate the 3D printing does not require assemblies. Okay, this bird with all this cage, and a chain. Inside cage there is a bird. Again, the legs are there. Legs are having springs, and it is rest on a certain block, wooden block. Let us say all these are as a single go we printed, not as a assembly. So as a single go printed. So this part demonstrates that no 3D printing machine does not require any assemblies. So this is also a such part. Only one link we can make. We can copy and keep like this, and we can print in the 3D printing. So joints, you see, a lot of joints are there. Hinge joints. So these hinge joints are designed in the CAD model, and wherever clearance is there, that powder will not be sintered in the clearance, and that can be easily removed from the part, and the required motion is obtained. So this is another project we completed for defense. This is a armor body for the Indian armored body for Indian
Yes,
defense.
all of you unmute yourself. Mute yourself.
Up to 11 o'clock, మనం ఇంకొక 5 minutes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. You can.
Shall I go?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. After you can. Yes.
So this is a armor body, bulletproof jacket to the Indian Army. We built at our center, and it tested, and it is successfully installed into the Indian Army. And knee brace, and this is another example where if sometimes no required assemblies, we also go for printing of individual parts, and all this will go inside, and we can connect a motor, and we can run successfully. Okay, so this is another example where stacking of components we can show. Okay, so instead of only one component building at once, better to collect all the parts. Suppose if you are waiting for 1 week, and during 1 week, how many parts are there that you can stack like this, and we can build. So this is also a prototypes, rack and pin arrangement. Okay. So now, if you look at the here, some of the pictures, no, this is a Volvo bus, and this is a hook joint, and these are the with the metal centered parts, and this is a chair at a swimming pool, and these are concepts, models, etc. So, so far what we have seen and up to this, it is understood that no, there is no boundary for manufacturing or prototypes. So prototype is there means we can easily manufacture. Okay. Or we are not at all seeing prototype if it is used as a end product or functional product. So with this, no, I would say that there is no boundary for manufacturing. The limitation is only for design. So by saying no, manufacturing design driven is the old saying. Now design driven manufacturing is a new saying. Okay. So no boundary for manufacturing since um our 3D printing machines are available, metal and you can say plastic. It is possible to produce all functional components. Only thing is we need to spend on the machines heavily. Initial cost will be there. Okay. So with this, no, I close here and I invite some questions from the audience. And I'm just running because of time is almost my time is 11 o'clock, but because it's late now, I wanted to take the extra time. So I
Okay, sir.
exceeded almost 7-8 minutes extra time.
Okay, sir. No issue, sir. No issue.
Now, I invite questions from the audience and announce Dr. Chari, and then
Yes, sir.
I will do this.
Any questions? Any questions from the participant side? You can ask directly to the Sriram Venkatesh, sir. You can unmute yourself and you can ask. Otherwise, you can chat in the chat box.
Yeah.
Any questions? Please raise your questions. You can ask questions. This is your time to.
One question is there,
Yes.
no? Is it possible to manufacture a sponge-like structures? Yes, it is possible. Only thing is, we need to select appropriate 3D printing machines. Sponge-like means it is possible only in resins, not with metals. In metals, we can go for honeycomb type of structures, lattice structures are possible. So sponge-like flexibility will be obtained only in resins.
Any questions? Any questions from the audience? You can ask.
Sir, can you able to hear my voice?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, just now I sent the message. So thank you, sir, for your information. Suppose if I want to fabricate the impeller for a pump with a similar structure.
Which one, sponge one?
Yeah, sponge type. The surface should be completed. It will be, there won't be any porous inside in order to reduce the material. So if I want to fabricate like this.
There are the softwares, geomatics are there, and nowadays also in SLM also it is there. Lot of structures are available. For example, lattice structure. So inside, outside, if you want to 2 mm, 3 mm layer thickness as outside, but inside should be hollow. So it is also available in Cura. Cura software is there in FDM. So infill, based on the infill, how much infill you require? 100%, 90%, 70%, 30%, 40%, like that. Based on the infill, we can select the pattern. Otherwise, what is happening? Research is going on. Some students are writing algorithms in Python on different shapes that they are producing to have less volume and more for example, strength requirement is satisfied, but you want to reduce the material. So how to reduce the material? You have to go for different type of structure inside. So they are, for example, the biomedical applications, some implants we are implanting into the what you can tissues. Tissue has to go inside the 3D printed part. So that means we need to have almost a hollow, less, very less material, and totally it should be hollow, and so that the tissue will be generated and penetrated into the hollow portion to left and right. So it will be filled with titanium based or whatever. So lattice structures are available, and so the research is going on to produce different type of lattice structures by using different programming. And after that, you have to customize with the existing software. That is possible. Otherwise, you can use existing. So many lattice structures are there. We can
Okay, sir.
reduce the
Thank you, sir.
support material. At the same time, we can use the same structure inside the body and keeping outside some 2-3 mm, whatever the strength requirement, and we can, these are there, we already built it. In case of assembly of parts, can there any be flaw with respect to bonding? No, assembly is not with respect to adhesive. Assembly should be by using again plugs and nuts and bolts like. But mostly 99% we don't go for assembly of parts in 3D printing. So there is a subject called design for additive manufacturing, DFMA. Another, I think Ravi Kumar is dealing with that. So we have to design in such a way that maximum advantage of 3D printing should be taken. So it is not like a designing of a component like conventional manufacturing. So we need to take a lot of advantages available with the 3D printing, that is called design for AM, design for additional manufacturing. Next, please.
Any questions from the audience? You can ask directly to the ceramic tester. Otherwise, you can chat in the chat box.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Ceramic
Okay.
Tester, for your nice presentation, and you are showing very nice case studies what you are produced in your center. I'm very happy to announce you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks for our invitation, accepting to deliver a talk. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
The next
Okay.
session will be start at sharp 11:30.
Actually, our session is 11 or 11:30?
Yeah, yes, that's enough, sir. Actually, up to 11 only, your session.
11,
The next
okay.
session will be start from the 11:30.
So you are giving gap.
Yeah, I'm giving you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.